So when Audi called me on Thursday just before the weekend started, they're like, hey, would you like the 2021 Audi RSQ3 for the weekend? I'm like, duh. Look at that. I absolutely love this spec. I love this color, but it is a little bit dirty for me driving it all weekend. So we're gonna take it to the car wash, get it cleaned, and then talk about the specs. So I found a little location here, trying to run away from the wind and this very windy, awful day. Sorry I can't do anything about the weather, but here we go. This is the RSQ3. Absolutely stunning. I love it in this color. And this car costs just under 32,000 dinars. And that is a lot of money for a crossover, don't you think? Well, Audi will tell you that if you spec it like this, yes, it will be expensive. And that is basically your fault for doing so. So to explain why it costs this much, I'm going to go and run through the option list and show you what doesn't come as standard. Now, please keep in mind that depending on where you live, you could have optional packages that have certain things bundled together, but that differs from continent to continent. So I'm just gonna try and point out what is not standard. So the first thing you'll notice is this Kyalami green color. This is obviously not a standard color, and on top of that, if you want it to look this good, you need all of these blackouts. Yes, this gloss black package does not come with the colors, as well as the mirrors are painted in gloss black, and that is also another option. The Matrix LED headlights also are an option and don't come as standard, so if you want your car looking this good, you'll have to tick that. On top of that, this car comes with a sport exhaust. Yes, the standard car comes with a sportier exhaust than the standard Q3, but this one has valves in it and can sound even louder. Let's have a listen. These 21-inch wheels are also an optional extra. The standard car comes with 20-inch wheels. And if you want your brake calipers painted red, you have to pay around an extra $400 for that. Keep in mind, depends where you are and depends on your taxes. But on top of that, if you wanted to go even more extreme, you could get the carbon ceramic brakes, which cost around $4,000. Yeah, really not worth it because these 375mm disc rotors do just fine. Now, if you want this car to be as fast as possible, you have to pay Audi to unlock it so that it reaches 280 kilometers an hour. If you don't do that, it is limited to 255. So you have to pay Audi to go 25 kilometers an hour faster. Wow. This engine is absolutely epic. It's a 5-cylinder 2.5 turbocharged motor producing 400 horsepower and 480 newton meters of torque. And it also sounds really good because these 5 cylinders are out in a row. The Germans call it like an R5. The rest of the world call it an i5. So that is your lot for the additionals for your exterior, but there's plenty more inside. So what else can you buy? Well, carbon fiber trim inside looks really nice. Alcantara here as well as here on the doors. You do get the aluminum here, which is standard. I really like the finish on this. This car also comes with 360-degree cameras. That is also an option. Here you can see this is the rear view. You have a top-down view, which is very nice. And you can also adjust different settings. The front, a wider angle, as well as the rear top-down view. Although it's not like the RS6 where you could move it around, it just stays there. Here you have your sensors, backup camera, then wider backup camera, then front wheels left and right, and the rear wheels left and right. The sporty steering wheel is also an additional option, although I really do like it. It's very thin and it just feels so nice to touch. Also has this aluminum here with the RS badge, and you have all of your controls right here. You can get through your MMI system and also the virtual cockpit. So this has the virtual cockpit plus, which is also an additional option. Just put the car into park and I'll show you what functions it has. So right now we have a couple of things we can see. We have our G meters, we have our boost levels, temperatures, and so on. If you go to the left, you can see what's on your phone as well, who you called, and you also have navigation. And I really like this view, but if that's too much for you, you can make it smaller. So a lot of adjustability. On top of that, whatever you have displayed here, you can adjust in the MMI system. If you go into RS mode, which we'll talk about in a second, it also changes a little bit and gives you more of a track focused, sportier gauge cluster. So this is the latest MMI system. I really do like it. The RSs get a little RS badge on the car there. Very responsive, super quick. You also have your navigation here. So you can have navigation in 2 spots. So you can just see pretty much everything. That's pretty cool. And then here you also have, you can connect it directly to your phone, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have your music with all of your sources, and you have SD cards, USB. That is right here. So you can just keep it hidden over there. And in your settings, you can adjust quite a bit. So that leads us on to the drive select. So this car has the optional adaptive suspension. First of all, you have your driving modes: efficiency, comfort, automatic, and dynamic. And then if you would like to customize one of them, you actually have 2, RS1 and RS2. So you go into that and see, all right, this is the profile for RS1, drive system dynamic. That will be the transmission, the 7-speed transmission. Then you have suspension. This is a really cool option. In comfort, it's completely different than in dynamic, and it'll be easier for the school runs on your kids. And then this is what you would need if you want to go and burst it out on a track that you made yourself somewhere in hopefully not a public area. This steering we'll talk about when we get to the driving part, but you can also customize how that works. Engine sound: subdued, automatic, and pronounced. So this is the exhaust, and on top of that, this also controls what you hear inside the cabin, because it does pump in a little bit of noise through the speakers, or I'm not exactly sure what, but you can hear it and it sounds pretty good actually for a pumped in system. And then on top of that, you have Quattro, so you can customize the all-wheel drive system, and you can do that for 2 modes. So you can have RS1 to be the full-blown boy racer, and then, you know, the other option can just be something very balanced with a louder exhaust. That's how I've set it up, and that's how I enjoy driving this car. Another optional extra is ambient lighting. So you go to background lighting and you go through your colors. How many are there? 30. So another additional is the Bang & Olufsen sound system. It does sound really, really good, but unfortunately you will not be listening to it when you're taking your kids to school and they're listening to the latest LOL remix. I mean, this new MMI system is all nice and great, but I really do like that they left buttons here and these knobs, because the Audi knobs, I mean, it's just worth buying this car for them. Listen to that. Oh, so satisfying. Down here you got a nice spot to charge your phone, and it has wireless charging, and it even charges through this cover, which I'm quite surprised. Not a lot of cars do that. Really helpful as a spot to put your phone. Here you have the lever. There is no RS written on it. That's kind of sad. And down here you have 2 cup holders for whatever you need. I have a little Monster Energy drink because it's green, and this car is green. This Q3 also comes with these RS seats, and they are absolutely lovely. They're also heated, and both of those things are optional. So yeah, you have to pay for those as well, but definitely worth it. They really hold you and bolster you while you're driving quickly, and they're very comfortable as well for the longer drive. So let's check out the back seats. So I fit. My knees are touching. This is my driving position in front of me, but immediately you'll see that this is my view. So it might be a little bit claustrophobic back here. You have to lean all the way to be able to see what's going on in front. The windows are kind of small, but I do have pretty good headroom here. A little bit. It's just like my, yeah, just my finger. It's just about, if you're a little bit taller than me, I'm 181 centimeters. Yeah, that could be a problem. The seats do move forward and backwards, but you'd really want to have them all the way back most of the time. And they also do this. and you'd want to have that all the way back as well most of the time. And while we're back here, you can also spec this car to have 3-way climate control, so you can have your own climate control back here, but this one doesn't have that. Probably like the only thing apart from the ceramic brakes this doesn't have. And you do have ISOFIX, and it's pretty nicely done. They have like these caps over here, so make sure not to lose them. The boot space is actually pretty decent, 540 liters. That is quite a bit more than its competitors, and you can put a lot of stuff in here and go for a trip or whatnot. You're probably gonna use it for shopping from the supermarket, aren't you? But yeah, it's pretty good. You also have a close button, obviously, and then you can lock it from here as well. Back to the front, storage is pretty good. There's a deep pocket here, and you can really put something all the way back there. That's impressive. You have a pretty decent glove box. That's pretty big. I like that. It's also felted, so you won't scratch anything. In the middle, you have this little cubby that's yeah, you could put some stuff in here. My biggest gripe with this is that it's too low. Usually like one hand over here, and then this one is a bit low. Can be a bit frustrating, but definitely something you can get used to, I guess, or just put a pillow there. So Audi has done a fantastic job with the styling, with all the tech you get in this car. I mean, it really is everything you need. But does it drive as well as it looks? Let's go find out. So looks and all that are important, but if it doesn't drive the way it looks, then none of that matters. Thankfully, it does. Hey, yeah. Oh my God, this thing is a treat and a half if I've ever driven one. It is so much fun. It's a fun car, Sappy. Look at the color, man. So good. Listen to that. It also has the Quattro system. Unfortunately, it's only the front-wheel drive Quattro system, meaning that it's predominantly front-wheel drive and then sends power to the back, unlike the RS6, RS7, R8, and so forth. On the limit, it does understeer a little bit more than those cars, but you have to get to the limit. And then with the adaptive suspension, put everything in sport, I think it hugs the road. I mean, it's scary to push it more. All right, but let's go back into comfort mode. Now, with the adaptive suspension, it kind of softens down and it feels like a car you could drive every day. I've driven it for 2 days, and like honestly, for the most part, I was in automatic mode, so it's just ready, you know, for you to tell it what to do. Smash the throttle, and it will eventually switch into the gear that you want. But yeah, this gearbox is not too great in any other mode than RS, or in the dynamic transmission mode. There it really shines. It even downshifts for you as soon as you touch the brake, ready to give you maximum power when you want to pull out of a corner. I really do like how that works. Visibility is quite strong, big mirrors, which is nice for daily use, as well as this window. It is small, but you do see exactly what you need to see, and it's easy to plant the front wheels on the perfect apex, which I am going to do right now. It really pushes you back. It is frightening sometimes how fast this car accelerates. I love it. It's so much fun, and the brakes are so good. You don't need those carbon ceramics. I mean, unless you use your brake pedal like an on and off button, maybe, but I haven't found the limits to these brakes, and I haven't felt any fade whatsoever. Pop back into RS mode. Gets a little bit noisier, and it's a bit, I feel like it's a bit more flat in the corners, although there is quite a bit of lean. As such is the nature of getting a car that has a higher center of gravity compared to the RS3, but still does a fantastic job to keep you engaged. And I got the G meter working, pulling like, what was that? It was like a 0.7 of a G in that corner. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. What's also very surprising about the ride, let me just cool it down and put it in comfort mode, is that we're riding on 21-inch wheels, and Audis in the past, they had this thing where whenever you put a bigger wheel on them, they would just jerk around and they'd be so uncomfortable. It would feel like driving a hard suspension sports car. But with this adaptive suspension, it's so bipolar, and it just manages to cope with these wheels perfectly. The only kind of noise you hear in the car from the performance tires, they are a bit noisier than what you would get in a normal Q3. But that's it, and it's kind of to be expected, I guess. And it's not too loud, it's not too annoying, so I wouldn't bother about that. But I had to say it. And also another thing I have to talk about is the fuel consumption. I've averaged 15.7 liters per 100 kilometers during the last couple of days. Now, that is a lot for a 2.5 liter 5-cylinder engine, but you know, there's no way about it. You have 400 horsepower, 480 newton meters of torque, and that needs fuel. It's a high compression engine, it needs more fuel. You could always run in efficient mode, but are you getting an RS to drive in efficiency mode? I highly doubt that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button as well. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the baby Urus RS Q3. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Maybe I should do some more reviews. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm out. Take care.